guys, Brandon here with Exotic Cars 19, and I'm joined by Dennis, the owner of this car, and lucky enough we get to review it for the day and just go on a quick drive and impressions and stuff like that. So Dennis, thanks so much for bringing the car out.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So tell me, what do we have here today?
So this is a 2014 Mustang GT track pack. Slight modifications to the suspension, just got the Ford K-springs, 1.5 inch drop. Car already came with sway bars, panhard bar, all the good stuff. Running GT 500 exhaust on it with a Procharged Stage 2 system, so it's running the D1SC with a bigger intercooler. Dyno tune, about 650 horsepower to the wheels with 500 pound-feet of torque.
Wow, so respectively C7 Z06 to the wheels.
Yeah, exactly.
So how long have you had it? You got it new, right?
Yeah, bought it new in 2014, so had it going on just about 2 years now. It's really nice being the original owner of this of the car, because you know that when you get it, it's factory, and you go test drive it. You know, with this car, I went and test drove it, and I immediately fell in love with it. I test drove Camaros, I test drove Challengers. Originally did not want a Mustang, because everybody and their mother I know has a Mustang.
Yeah. But that could be a good thing too. I mean, I remember Jay Leno saying with the FRS when it was first came out, he said, "Mark my words, the parts and aftermarket availability will be endless because of such a available car." But when you were buying it, did you know any plans that you had with it? Did you know you wanted to bring it to this level?
No. When I originally bought it, I only had one thing in mind, and that's I wanted a black on black car.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I gotta ask, what inspired this wrap?
Okay, so that's actually kind of a funny story, because my friend Jason and my little brother also have Batman themed wraps.
Okay.
My buddy Jason has a Gen 2 Viper. It's black with yellow stripes, has a Batman logo on the hood. My little brother has a 14 Dodge Dart that has a Euro stripe with the Robin symbol cut out of it. So I'd actually helped with Jason's car in the design, and then designed my brother's car completely. They, drove around for a couple of months. Everyone loved it because it was Batman and Robin, so they go to car shows, and all the kids loved it. My car had originally, after I bought it, I just put regular green racing stripes on it. Yeah, I loved it. I loved the black and green combo. It stood out. Everybody thought it was awesome. Well, then as I started going to Cars and Coffee, I started going to more car shows. Sure enough, more Mustangs start showing up with black and green stripes.
It's almost like the Zombie 222, that one electric 60. Yeah.
Well, and it was funny because we both showed up to Cars and Coffee together one time, and everyone thought I copied him. Everyone thought he had copied me. It just so happened we had done the same thing at the same time. But yeah, I love Mitch, and I love the Zombie 222. I have a couple of pictures of us sitting next to each other. Cool. It's awesome. But yeah, so my car had, through driving it, because I used to daily drive this car. Okay. And of course that's before the Procharger and everything. I had to take it in to get some rock chips fixed. Okay. And they were significant enough that they had to end up pulling the green racing stripes off completely. So it left me open to go ahead and rewrap the car. And I was tinkering around with ideas, and then Jason and my brother approached me and said, why don't you just do a Joker theme, because everyone already thinks that you're the Joker car when you pull up with us. Might as well just go ahead and do that theme. And originally I didn't want to. I didn't want to kind of like fall into the kind of steal their thunder, or feel like I was trying to chase after that theme. But yeah, I ended up throwing the design together and instantly fell in love with it. And I've always loved the Joker from Batman the Animated Series, the original Mark Hamill Joker. So I kind of went with that theme in designing the entire car. So that's why all of the laughter on the side, the ha-has are kind of cartoony, and everything's a very simple purple and green setup. As well as the airbrushing under the hood is actually a tribute to...
Just looking out the hood, though, those stripes do go together real well. Now there's not another one like it, so...
Yeah, well, actually, it's funny enough. I went to Texas Mustang Invasion this year, and there were two other cars with purple and green stripes. Oh, really? One was actually trying to chase after the Joker theme, and they did it with Plasti Dip, which was just awful. Yeah, the reaction that we get from kids walking up, and just their eyes light up when they see all of these together, and especially when they just walk
walk up and they just think it's 3 really cool cars, but then they realize what's going on.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Watching their excitement is definitely worth it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Where'd you get this wrapped at?
So, like I said, I had actually come up with the design, and I brought it to David at Wrap Dynamics, and David Steedle, by hands down, is the best vinyl installer I've ever seen. And I've actually done some work with different vinyl installers, and this guy, David, is just top notch.
So you said you used to daily drive this. What is your daily driver now?
So I ended up buying a little Kia Soul, and yeah, for a little daily car, that thing's amazing.
So what is this? This is your show car?
Yeah, this is honestly turned into my weekend car. Honestly, at Friday at 5 o'clock, the Kia gets parked for the weekend, and I just, if it's not raining and just awful out, then I will try to drive this thing as much as I can.
So how long after ownership of a stock Mustang did you start changing things up? What was first?
Well, first we put a Boss 302 intake manifold on with the tune and a cold air intake. Probably about 4 months after I bought it.
Okay.
Because to me, I always like doing things in progression. I'd gotten used to the car at stock and was itching for some more power out of it. Okay. So I found a really good deal on a Boss 302 intake and the install kit and the cold air from JLT. Took it up to Central Tex Performance. They installed it, did the tune on it. Turned it into 440 at the wheels, around 368, 69 pound-feet of torque, which was great. I mean, it was a great NA car after that, because I'd also put the drop springs on at that time, so it was nice because I gained some cornering ability, gained some handling out of the car, as well as gained some extra power. And what I really loved about it when it was naturally aspirated is this was great going down like Lime Creek Road or down 1431 heading to Marble Falls.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
one of my favorite drives to go on. This thing, I can just take the turns and never hit the brakes because it's got 373 gears in the back. So this thing will literally just drag itself.
Wow. If you could do anything different, would you? If you were starting from scratch? Or is this just the way you want it, or any future plans as well?
If I was starting from scratch, I would probably do everything that I did. I probably would have skipped the intake and went straight to forced induction.
Oh, okay.
And I probably would have gone with a TVS setup versus the Procharger. Only because you'll probably hear on the microphone anytime this thing is not pulling boost, it is just straight whistling at you. The power is
I definitely heard you coming up there when I was at the top of the parking garage, but
which, I mean, overall it makes for great power, it makes for a great torque band. The car is very manageable. But yeah, that is probably, for me, that is the most annoying sound ever. And yeah, my wife will randomly take off and drive this car every now and then, and I immediately hear it and I'm like, that is awful.
But as for now, no future plans with it? You just like it the way it is?
I'm at the point where, like, the rest of the modifications are going to be really small. I definitely want to redo the exhaust. I'd like to get something that's a little bit louder. Probably switch to some Roush axle backs just to kind of give it more of a European sound. And now that my kids are a little bit older and I have a daily car, I'm probably going to end up removing the rear seat, do the rear seat delete with the cross brace in the back, just to help stiffen it up a little bit, because doing some track days at COTA and TWS, I could really notice, like, it's got a good setup and it feels great handling, but it could definitely use some stiffening.
I'm always reminded how other sports cars have so much more room when I got so used to mine. I had a friend, Riley, who had a Charger Scat Pack, who just traded in for another car. But I remember riding that thing, even on Lime Creek, and I just felt like I could relax. It was big and spacious, but same with the Mustangs, too.
Well, and funny enough, so that was my big hang-up with the Challengers. And Tom McCord, if you're watching this, I apologize, but I've actually, he let me drive his SRT8 Challenger. And yeah, my only complaint was, like, I felt like I was driving a boat. It was so big. And at the time, I owned a 350Z when I bought this one.
Real light and nimble car.
And I get out of that, and I get into his car, and I was like, there's so much room for activities.
I know, exactly. It's just a totally different drive, though. I remember when Riley was in town, we just did like a quick seat swap or whatever. He was riding the BRZ, and then I rode in his Scat Pack, and it was just crazy, the contrast, especially on Lime Creek, though. But it seems like with you taken what's great about the power though, and kept that, amplified it, but then you take the things that come with these bigger, taller cars, whatever, and you stiffened it up, and it seems more light on his feet from just the passenger seat, I could tell.
Well, and that was my main thing when working with, because I did a lot of research and read a lot of reviews and asked other people who had done modifications on their cars, and also really used the knowledge of Jeff at Central Texas Performance to figure out like what I should do, what I shouldn't do. Which he was great, because he, if I came up and I said, hey, I want to do this to my car, he would tell me like, no, it's a waste of money, don't do that, which was really great advice. But yeah, overall, I wanted to make sure that I bought and installed the right components that were actually going to make a difference in the car. But overall, I've been trying to keep it well balanced between horsepower ratio to handling. And one of the nice things about buying the track pack is I did already have the suspension upgrades, but I also had the brake upgrades too. I already had the Brembo brakes on it, so it was, it's not something that I had to reach out and hurry up and go upgrade on the car.
So your goal with this was not to have this outright straight line speed, but to have something that could be tracked as well, be a little nimble and whatnot.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, it's great that I can punch it and the car will launch and it will take off and it feels good. But it's also even better that I can do that and the car will remain stable. Because what I didn't want is like this 1200 horsepower twin turbo Mustang that I had to run drag slicks all the time to keep keep it in the
you
in
would
the
never
lane.
bring it to like 30%.
Exactly. Yeah, I think overall the car is, I love driving it. It's a very well balanced car. It's very tight in the corners. I can get into it and it will grip. One of the other modifications I got was I switched to the DF5 wheels. They're 10.5 inches in the back, so I got a nice wide tire on the rear to really help plant that power. And I actually did that before I put the Procharger on it. So I was already used to how the car handled and the way that it gripped, and I was very comfortable with being able to drive my car, and then I added power. So I mean, that would be my big piece of advice to anybody is get comfortable with your car and then add power, and do it in stages.
Oh, that blow off's nice. They make some pretty great sounds, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's nice when when I'm getting into it. But yeah, when I'm just trying to sneak out of the neighborhood early in the morning, it's just like, I am so sorry.
Well, Dennis, thank you so much for letting us make a video on the car.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for coming along for the ride.